Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're stepping into the shadows to investigate something hidden right in plain sight. Pull up a chair and, well, lean in close. We're about to explore some unseen corners of human psychology, dissecting a truth that often remains whispered behind closed doors. We're looking at a subtle, almost invisible manipulation that operates right under our noses, very often within our most intimate relationships.
Just let that sink in for a second. What if the person you trust the most has been slowly making you doubt your own mind? It's a terrifying thought, right? Kind of like something straight out of a psychological thriller or a noir detective film. But this isn't Hollywood. For many people, it is a very quiet, very real nightmare playing out in their daily lives.
It's called gaslighting, and as our source material makes crystal clear, it is absolutely one of the most damaging psychological tactics out there. It fundamentally attacks your reality, making you question your own memory, your perception, and eventually, your sanity. But listen, you don't have to remain in the dark. By the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly how to spot these tactics, decode them, and protect yourself.
Now, the wildest, most dangerous thing about gaslighting is that it doesn't just happen all at once. You don't wake up one day completely devoid of confidence. No, it's far more insidious. It builds slowly, one small moment, one tiny question at a time. It's like a dripping faucet in a dark room. At first, you barely even notice it. Then, before you realize what's happening, you're completely submerged, and you've actually stopped trusting your own memory. Okay, let's dive into this and open the first door of our investigation.
Number 1. Denying reality and past events.
Think of these phrases as our first clues at a crime scene. I never said that. You're imagining things. Just imagine you're in a relationship and you bring up a conversation you had literally last week where your partner clearly promised to do something. Instead of a normal disagreement, you're hit with a flat, unwavering, "I never said that. You're completely making that up." When this repeated denial happens over and over, it forces you to question your own recall. You start asking yourself, wait, did I imagine it? Is my memory really that bad? And boom, that right there is the seed of doubt taking root. And once they have you doubting your memory, well, they move on to attacking your emotional compass.
Which brings us to number 2. Trivializing your valid feelings.
Have you ever tried to express that you were hurt by something your partner did, only to be met with a cold, "You're just too sensitive," or "You're overreacting"? This is a highly calculated move. This specific tactic takes the magnifying glass completely off the manipulator's harmful behavior and turns it directly onto your reaction. Suddenly, the problem isn't that they did something hurtful. The problem is that you are somehow crazy for being upset about it. They completely invalidate your emotional reality. And as the shadow deepens, the manipulator starts acting like this distorted, dark mirror.
That leads perfectly into number 3. The art of shifting blame.
So the crucial point here is how this distortion plays out in real time. Let's say you catch your partner in a lie. What actually happened is clear. They lied. But what they say happened becomes an absolute masterclass in deflection. They twist the situation so effectively, maybe claiming they only lied because you are always so suspicious and demanding, that suddenly the script is flipped. You end up apologizing to them even when you did absolutely nothing wrong. You literally take the punishment for their crime. By now, your sense of up and down is heavily compromised.
And that paves the way for number 4, weaponizing confusion for total control. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the trap snaps shut. The gaslighter uses constant contradictions as a weapon. They might shower you with praise one minute and demean you the very next. They tell you one rule applies on Monday and completely punish you for following it on Tuesday. This intentionally keeps you totally off balance. Think about it. When you can no longer trust your own memory or emotions, and the ground is constantly shifting beneath your feet, you basically have no choice but to latch on to the only anchor available, the manipulator's version of reality. You become entirely dependent on them to tell you what's true. Because if you're constantly kept off balance, what's your natural instinct? It's to reach out for a lifeline, to ask someone else, am I going crazy here? Well, the gaslighter knows this.
Which is exactly why they move to number 5, isolating you from outside perspectives. The manipulator will systematically discourage you from talking to your friends and family. They might subtly plant seeds that your best friend doesn't really like you, or that your family is, toxic. Why? Well, because outside perspectives are incredibly dangerous to a gaslighter. A trusted friend might look at the situation and say, "No, you're not crazy. That behavior is entirely unacceptable." By cutting off your lifelines, the manipulator ensures they remain the only voice in your head, stopping anyone else from validating your true feelings. So we've seen the symptoms, but let's unveil the underlying machinery of this abuse. Like, why does this actually work on smart, capable people?
That brings us to number 6, the psychology of breaking trust.
Now, what's really interesting about this process is that gaslighting is not just a series of random bad arguments. It is a highly systematic mechanical process. It requires step 1, repetition, that constant dripping over time. It relies on step 2, trust, because, let's face it, it only works if you actually care about and trust the person lying to you. It enforces step 3, isolation, completely removing your safety net, which finally results in step 4, the total erosion of self-confidence. It's an equation. And unfortunately, when executed over time, it works.
But, hey, here is the light at the end of the tunnel. The spell can absolutely be broken. If you've recognized any of these dynamics, if you've experienced even one of these tactics in your relationships, hear this. Trust your own memory. Your mind, your perceptions, and your feelings are infinitely more reliable than you have been made to believe by someone trying to control you.
Taking back your reality starts with naming the manipulation. So if the pieces of this puzzle finally clicked into place for you today, take a quick second to comment "I see it now" below. Engaging with this actually helps solidify your own understanding. And for sure, be sure to subscribe to follow along with our weekly psychology breakdowns as we continue to shine a light into the shadows of human behavior. We've unpacked the secrets. We've exposed the tactics. The invisible manipulation is now entirely visible right in front of you. So I'll leave you with this one final, lingering thought to ponder. Now that you know exactly how the trick is done, will you ever let someone else write your reality again?